Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be reviewing The Rocketeer from 1991, one of my childhood favourites. And joining me today to review this movie is a man who once put on a rocket to go fight Nazis, Mr. Jack Markham. Jack, is that
Your
true?
introductions are
Is
flawless. Yeah, no, I couldn't have summed it up better. That episode of my life, that was
I'm pretty
a
sure that's
highlight.
on your Wikipedia page that you put on a rocket to go fight Nazis.
It is, and someday it will be in a history book
One that you
based
write
on.
about yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So Jack's got some.
my fictional autobiography.
Wouldn't that be fun? Just do your autobiography and it's just full of bullshit.
Oh, that would be so funny. Like every argument you ever lost, you could just say you won it
Yeah,
and then
and I
publish it,
yeah,
and then it's history.
just make everyone in your life seem like an absolute jerk, and you're perfect.
Yeah, I was always the black sheep in the family, but I was surrounded by cunts, so that makes me the good person. I'm sorry for I'm sorry for swearing so early in the episode.
You're lucky I'm not monetized yet. That would have been demonetization right there.
Oh, apologies.
No.
Apologies to the young listeners who haven't heard that word before. But there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, we're really fucking sorry for cursing. Right, so Jack has some exciting news to share with everybody. Jack, what is that news?
um well yeah, the interview that I did with the Spotlight Network is now up on YouTube, and it was broadcasted all over, you know, North America and Europe on Apple TV and Amazon TV and all these places, like all these networks and stuff were broadcasting it. It went live there on Tuesday. And my phone hasn't shut the fuck up buzzing ever since.
That's
Like
fantastic.
it's unbelievable. Like I shared it on Facebook there.
Yeah.
It's like a 17-minute interview with myself and Logan Crawford, and he interviewed me about the book Pirate Hunter. And uh, now people have told me that I was very confident in it, but the reality was I was like shaking like a leaf. I was trying to hold on to my bowels, to be honest. I was so nervous.
Oh, I'd say the
Um,
adrenaline was pumping. All right. Yeah, I've been there
oh, for
myself.
sure. Yeah, yeah. It was insane. It was an amazing experience, I have to say. And
But it was a fantastic interview. I thought you did a really good job. And for anyone interested in checking it out, there will be a link in the description, and there'll be a link to Jack's website if you want to go check out Pirate Hunter.
mm.
It's generating quite a lot of buzz.
And top marks to Prime Seven Media for hooking it up for me. They were the crowd that contacted me and got me it. So thanks a lot to them.
There you go. Go check that out. Right, the Rocketeer.
Yeah.
What is the premise to the Rocketeer? Well, a stunt pilot comes across a prototype jetpack that gives him the ability to fly. However, evil forces of the world also want this jetpack at any cost. That sounds exciting.
It's pretty cool. I have to say this one was a ton of fun to watch. Like it's such a feel good movie. It's not like your average like formulaic superhero flick. Like it's not exactly a chosen one story or anything really. He's very humble, the Rocketeer, as a
Mm.
character, you know.
It's
Um
kind of like one of those, everyday man who comes across power and then uses it to
yeah.
do good, that sort of thing.
And the interesting thing about this one is like this was kind of made before the formula was done, you know, because in my opinion, with the superhero films, like if it's a solo flick, the formula is, the Raimi Spider-Man films. Like that's that kind of formula.
Yeah.
Ever since they came out, there's been a pretty straightforward formula how to do this. But this one was fun because he doesn't actually strike you as a superhero kind of dude. Like he's a bit of a goofball.
Yeah.
Um, but he's so likable because he's humble. He's like from the country. He wants to be a pilot, like a professional pilot, uh, doing competitions and stuff. And yeah, it's really a small town movie kind of thing. But it's so charming. It was a load of fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
this
have
is,
to say.
as I said in the intro, this is one of my childhood favorites. I've always enjoyed this movie. It's it's
Mm,
straightforward. There's nothing too complex about it. So I guess we'll start off by giving our spoiler-free thoughts.
sure.
So first of all, the casting is great. I think everyone does their part well. I think it's very well cast.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I think there's some good direction in here. As I said, the writing is simple but competent. It's a very straightforward superhero origin story, but it's all done pretty well. Um, I really like the look of the Rocketeer himself. I've always thought he had a really cool look.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. I was watching a little review there uh, earlier today. That you know your man, the critical drinker. Do you ever watch his videos?
I've seen him. Yeah,
Yeah, he referred to him as steampunk Iron Man, and I'm like, that's kind of his look is kind of that. It's kind of steampunk, isn't it?
yeah,
Like
yeah. I
a
think
little bit, kind of. It's like World War II steampunk
yeah, yeah.
vibe kind of thing he's giving
I
off.
would
Yeah,
say that's a good way
it's
of
awesome.
putting it. Yeah. Um.
The helmet's cool as well. I really like the fin on the back of it to make it more aerodynamic.
Yeah, to help him steer a little bit.
Yeah,
Um.
he steers the thing with his head.
um. Also, the score is awesome. I think the score to this movie is really, really cool. Especially how the movie opens and that bit of music that plays. I think it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, I mean, before we move on to spoilers, I think overall it's just a well done superhero origin movie.
yeah. It's based on a graphic novel from 1982, I believe,
Is that right? I
and
didn't actually know that.
it went. Yeah, it got announced in the year 1990 and was in production then until 91 when it came out. And I think this was Disney's answer to Batman 89, if you ask me. That's my opinion on this. I think Batman 89 came out and they saw the phenomenon that it was, and they were like, right, we need a superhero, we need a comic book,
Right.
and then they did this. And when you're watching it, it's not like Batman 89 in any way. It's totally different, but
Yeah.
it's a unique superhero story. It's
Yeah. They were probably just
yeah.
thinking they did a superhero, it was successful. We need to do one, and it'll be successful.
I think
But
so. I think this was their answer. And for what it's worth, it's pretty entertaining. Like it wasn't nearly as successful now as the likes of '89 because it came out in the same year as I think was it Terminator 2 that came out in '91, and that's what defeated this one.
I can't remember if Terminator was 91 or 92. I'm not sure. But I
There was a big one in '91 anyway, and it came out the same week as this, and this is why this one didn't really take off that much. No pun
yeah,
intended.
yeah, didn't take off. But
Didn't take off, yeah.
um yeah, like this one just it wasn't a successful movie, so any plans for a sequel were scrapped, unfortunately. Although I would kind of struggle to think what you would do in a sequel, but like it's pretty self-contained, really. I mean, there are things you could do, and I know I think there were comic books after this that expand on the story, but I've never read them, so
Mm.
I'm not sure exactly what to do with them.
I'm kind of happy with this one as just one. Like
Yeah,
if there
same.
was with sequels, I think it would just lessen it, because there's a lot of value in here already, and it's a fun story. It's a ton of fun. I don't know where you'd go from here,
Yeah.
like you said. Yeah.
Right, so
Uh,
we'll move on to spoilers. So I
mm.
recommend this movie. As I said, there's nothing terribly complex about it, but I think you'll have fun with it. I would say if you're into superhero movies, give it a go. It's certainly one of the better ones.
Can I just mention as well? I think aesthetically, it's really pretty to look at.
Yeah, I
This
think
show.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, the cinematography is really like well textured and balanced, and it's just pretty to look at. I like films that look that like this. Like it's a very bright film,
Yes.
for the
Yeah.
most part, and a lot of it's very all practical effects. Like a lot of the planes crashing and stuff are real planes,
Yeah.
and he's jumping out of airplanes, and it's real stuntman doing it. So that's always really charming to see. It's like there's very little like overuse of CGI in this one.
Yes.
There's a bit
Um,
of green screen here and there, but no massive kind of big spectacle CGI shite. Like a lot of
it's
it's practical, and I
refreshing.
like
Yeah.
that.
And
Yeah.
when I revisited this, I was expecting the flying effects to look really awful, but they don't look that bad.
Mm. Yeah, no.
I think it's done well enough that like it doesn't take you out of it that much.
Yeah, there's a lot of like fun shots and stuff, and I'm sure we'll get into them. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, we absolutely are. So
mm.
go watch The Rocketeer if you don't want it spoiled, and then come back and listen to the rest of this. Right. So first thing I want to touch on is the chewing gum.
Oh yeah.
Because they really set this chewing gum up, and there's a pretty neat payoff for it at the end. But I read a comment, I can't remember, it was on someone's video, but I read a comment that was really funny where someone referred to it as Chekhov's gum. And I thought That was pretty funny. Do you get the reference?
Chekhov, like from Star Trek.
Do you know this concept of Chekhov's gun,
Oh, is
where
this like scientific experiment kind of thing or something? Is it?
no, it's kind of like a writing term. Whereas if there's a scene where they really kind of emphasize a gun, that gun will almost certainly go off some point in the movie. It's in
Oh,
reference
right.
to like a setup. So I thought whoever,
Okay. Okay,
yeah,
that's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So whoever
Um,
commented Chekhov's gun, that was a good one. Well done, sir. So yeah, this gun will pay off later on if you're paying attention. They
yeah,
reference the gum a few times.
I like that. It's like because you know, from a writing point of view, the whole town in this place has character. Because
Yes.
when they're in the cafe and stuff, and they all know each other and stuff, and it's like you're one in the village. Like, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
everyone knows each other and stuff, and I really like that. And the chewing gum thing, that's his little trademark that he does, and yeah,
Yeah.
they all have little characteristics about them. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I think they do the whole small town thing, the whole small town vibe really well.
yeah, for sure.
Right. So the first thing we'll talk about is the first time he kind of goes into action as the Rocketeer, because I love scenes like this where it's the superhero's first time out on a mission or whatever, and they're not quite as competent as they will be. So, this is seen a
Mm.
lot in superhero origin movies, and I always find those sort of scenes fun. Like in Spider Man, where he's testing out his powers and he's jumping around and all this kind of stuff. Um,
Yeah.
so there's a
Or like when Tony Stark goes up into space and then the suit freezes and he didn't account for that. It's like that kind of thing. He
yeah,
makes a
yeah,
mistake on his first run. Yeah.
or he's testing out his thrusters and they just launch him into a wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's always funny. But yeah, so there's a pilot who's in a bit of distress. So, Cliff, who is the Rocketeer, he was supposed to be up in the airplane as a way of making money. So at the start of the movie, his this airplane they were working on gets destroyed. So they kind of need to do things to earn money. But
Mm.
he was late for some reason. I can't remember exactly why. Um,
Uh, I believe in the beginning, it wasn't the first plane that he was like mad about, and he had it all polished. It was shot down by the FBI, and so the older fella is like testing the new one, and the new one goes wrong somehow. And you're right, he has to hop on the rocket and go up and save him, right?
yeah, it was either the FBI or the mobsters just shot it down at the beginning.
Mhm.
And that led to him finding the jetpack. But yeah, so this guy who we seen him earlier in the cafe, he's a lad that likes a drink, and he hasn't flown in a long time, and he's in his whole clown get up because he's up there to do tricks and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
he gets into a bit of mischief because as I said, he hasn't flown in a long time. So Cliff has to put on the jetpack and go into action to save him. And I really like this scene. This is another good example of what I was talking about, of the hero's first time in action, where he's a little bit clumsy. Things aren't going quite according to plan. He accidentally comes up through the bottom of the plane and ends up knocking the pilot out. You were talking about some good shots, and there's one I love in this where his jetpack switches off and he's falling, and he goes into the cloud, and then he turns it back on and the cloud flashes and he flies back out of it. I just thought that looked really cool.
yeah. Oh yeah, there's a few good shots in there like that for sure.
And
A lot of it's practical as well. Like I was saying earlier, the
mm,
actual stuntmen were like falling and they were recording it, which is awesome. Which is awesome.
yeah, it's really cool.
Because nothing beats practical effects. Like a good practical effect, if it's done right and shot right and stuff, it always looks really good.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
And if
especially
you're into airplanes, like you'll love this film because there's loads of them.
yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you like giant blimps, well, stick around.
Oh man, the old blimps.
Where the fuck were they hiding that thing? So he manages to save the pilot, and he lands him down safely and then flies off, and the crowd are cheering, and that's the world's introduction to the Rocketeer. And I like how they end the scene. They end it with him kind of crash landing, just to remind us
Mm.
that like he's not quite there yet. He's still getting the hang of all this. So it was a good way to end the scene. Um, he's
Oh
also
yeah, because
very yeah.
previously, like when they were testing the rocket, like he tied it to a statue, and then sure didn't the statue like fly off into space? And it was going crazy for ages, and then it crash landed.
It
So it's
crash
like kind of
landed and
yeah,
the head was kind of caved in. So they're like, maybe we should make a helmet for this thing.
yeah. But like even when they're testing it, like they just seem like two dudes who have just found something. They're just
Yeah,
they're not experts or scientists or anything or geniuses. They're just two random lads who found the jetpack.
yeah. Well, you could argue that what's his name? Peavy, Peabody, I think is
He's
his
the
name, and he calls
yeah,
him
he's the older guy. Yeah.
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 They hint that maybe he is some sort of creative genius, but maybe he is. Maybe he's some kind of mad genius. But um,
Probably just a mechanic. He's talking shy.
bluffing his way through life.
Yeah.
I mean, he does fix the rocket pack with chewing gum, so
Yeah, true. Yeah, but still, because they there was a hole in it for some reason. I think someone shot it or something. But that's later on, isn't it?
yeah, it was something like that. Or when he crashed down, it got damaged, or something like that. I can't remember exactly how it got
Mm.
damaged, but yeah, he he comes up to the idea of just patching it up with chewing gum, which wouldn't instill me with a lot of confidence. But there's going to be a payoff for that later on, so it's an
Yeah,
important part of the plot.
good
the
old jungle.
The chewing gum kind of saves the day.
Come here.
um,
You know who really steals the show though? Is Timothy Dalton playing Neville Sinclair.
I
And I'll
think,
tell you why.
yeah,
I'll tell you why I think this, right? Because first of all, I believe that he's playing Errol Flynn.
mm-hmm,
I 100% I'm convinced that that's who the character is based on, right?
yeah,
Because when we meet Neville Sinclair, he's an actor. Because the Rocketeer, his girlfriend, is an extra on the set of this film.
yeah,
And the set of the film is identical to the castle in Errol Flynn's Robin Hood. And
yes,
he's wearing the same costume. Like it's identical to the costume that Errol Flynn wore in that film.
it's so
This
cool.
Neville Sinclair fella.
Yeah,
And then he takes off the wig and he's like, he's schmoozing the girlfriend and stuff and he's chatting her up and he takes her out on a date and stuff. And I definitely believe he's based on Errol Flynn because are we doing spoilers? Yeah,
we're
we're
in
on the spoiler section.
full spoiler mode. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, we find out that Sinclair is working for the Nazis.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, yeah, he's a bad dude. But in real life, Stephen, right? There was a rumor when Errol Flynn was going around. He was under investigation because people thought he was affiliated with the Nazis.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, because I watched a
Wow.
documentary on his life, and he in World War One, right? He was a journalist for the war
Yeah.
before he got into films, and he had a photographer, and his photographer that he went into battle with and got these photographs actually sold photographs to Hitler, so he was affiliated with the Nazis. So Errol was investigated, but it turns out Errol was innocent. It was just his photographer. So I
Oh
reckon this
wow.
Sinclair fella is literally based on that rumor.
That is so funny. That's so interesting. I didn't know any
And
of
like the
that.
fact that he's dressed like Robin Hood when we first meet him, and he's there waving a sword around in his gaff, and he's there chatting up the women and stuff. I'm like, this Timothy Dalton's just playing Errol Flynn.
That's
That's what he's
fucking
doing here,
yeah.
and that's what made me like him so much. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think Timothy Dalton is a great villain, and I don't know if he's played many villains in his career, but he should have played more because I think he's fantastic.
Oh man, you ever see him in Hot Fuzz?
I
He's
would have,
just
yeah, a long
he's
time. Yeah,
so
yeah.
so sinister. He's so good at playing the sinister millionaire. You know.
Oh, he's just such a great villain, and in
Yeah.
this, he's just such a shithead. He just it's all in like his performance and the look in his eye, and
I know you just know he's up to something, but like, yeah, his character Neville Sinclair is 100% based on Errol Flynn.
I
I don't
think
give a shit. Like, and you know me, I'm a big Errol Flynn fan and stuff,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I seen a lot of them when I was watching Timothy Dalton in this one.
yeah. So like as
Mm.
Jack said, he's a Hollywood actor who's secretly a Nazi. Um,
Mm.
we'll get more into him in a minute. We're gonna just go back to Cliff and his girlfriend. So,
Yeah,
um, Cliff is worried that he's not good enough for his girlfriend Jenny, and I was pretty invested in their relationship. I was,
yeah, I liked her. She's
yeah,
played by Jennifer Connelly.
yeah,
Uh, like she wants to get more out of life, and Cliff is like happy with the small town thing. and that causes a bit of a rift. You know, he knocks
Yeah,
over something on set and gets her fired and stuff, and that causes a lot of tension.
yeah, she wants to eat
Um,
at fancier places and this kind of thing, and she's trying to get into
mm,
acting, so she's around some very kind of fancy people, like Sinclair himself. We'll see
yeah,
later in a bit. Um, but yeah, I was interested to see their problems resolved throughout the movie, so I thought they did a pretty good job with that. But
she nails the look of the 40s kind of women at that time, like the kind of the hairstyle and everything. She's a real kind of woman of her era in this film. You know,
yeah,
it's like
you'd
she's
buy
totally
her,
convincing. You know,
you'd buy her completely, wouldn't you?
totally, yeah. She definitely like belongs here. It's like,
Yeah,
you know, the film set I think in 1938, and you fully believe that she's you know
yeah,
I think it's the hair and her whole atmosphere and stuff like that. She just kind of goes on like you'd imagine how a woman
yeah,
from the 40s would go on. You know,
yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, so like Jenny's infatuated by Neville Sinclair and those type of people, and I think it's really interesting the way that so she's infatuated by someone who's playing a hero, and then her boyfriend Cliff turns out to be a real hero. I thought it was quite neat, that whole thing.
yeah.
Um,
And do you notice like Sinclair is like using lines from his film, like that he said in his films to flirt with her and chat her up. So you just kind of know that he's kind of fake.
yeah,
You know, he's not really. He doesn't actually believe anything he's saying. He's just using it to chat her up and get
yeah.
information out of
And
her and things like this.
because she's so familiar with his movies, she recognizes them as lines from his movies, and she calls this bullshit.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty neat. You know, she
yeah.
can even say like what scene and what film it's from.
I love when they're at dinner together and doesn't Cliff put a note in the bottom of her soup?
Yeah.
That's why I love Cliff so much because he's honestly not the brightest. Like paper floats, like it's gonna float to the top.
Yeah. Because Sinclair ends up seeing it and he kind of susses what's going
Yeah,
on. Um, yeah, he
it's
just
very funny.
puts a note in her soup, meet me by the something or other. And Sinclair ends up seeing that. So yeah, Sinclair is looking for this rocket that Cliff has. So that's why he is trying to chat up Jenny and trying to get on her good side and taking her out to dinner because he's trying to get to Cliff. Um, I like so there's that scene you're talking about where Cliff comes on set to apologize to Jenny and he ends up
Mm.
knocking over a fake wall and he ends up getting her fired.
Yeah,
Um,
by the way, hang on a minute. This wall thing annoyed me because when I was looking at it and he knocked it over, right? He knocked over like the full wall on the set and it nearly killed Neville Sinclair. I don't think that's his fault, to be honest.
it was pretty
I
easily
think
knocked over, right?
he's not responsible for that. It's
Yeah.
just a guy walking past it and the whole thing came down. Like
He
that's the set design. She
he
shouldn't have got fired over that. I thought that was a bit harsh. I was like, you shouldn't have fired her over that. First of all, it wasn't her fault nor his fault. It was the set designers.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you think it fell over far too easily?
Yeah, he barely touched it and the
Yeah.
whole thing came down.
It's like if someone brushed against it, it was going to collapse.
Yeah, it nearly killed him. It nearly killed Sinclair.
So
And then she
Jenny,
got fired for it. I was like, no, she's not responsible for this.
yeah. So Jenny initially gets fired, and then when Sinclair finds out that she's connected to the guy who has the rocket, he kind of like he starts smooth talking her and all this kind of stuff. I like that even
Yeah.
when the wall falls and he almost gets killed, he keeps his composure. He keeps up, you know, his whole facade. But as soon as the rocket's
Mm.
mentioned, that drops for a bit, and he's just pushing people out of his way, and you see the facade drop momentarily. I think Dalton just plays it so well.
Oh,
So
he's so good, man. He's so good. Now I haven't seen him as James Bond yet, but like I haven't seen. I've seen one of his James Bond films. I think he did two or three. I haven't seen all of them, but
did he not
in
just do
this
the
one,
one?
like
I don't know for
he's so
sure.
smooth. He's such a smooth flirt, isn't he? Like he's
Yeah.
so flirty, and I'm like, there's no wonder this guy played James Bond. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
His eyes for some reason remind me of the eyes of a fox or something. I don't. He's got a very like animalistic face or something. I don't know how to explain it, but he just like when he's talking to Jenny, all I see is like a predator. you know. Um. Yeah. No. He's a really good villain, and he certainly should have done more villain roles if If he hasn't, I don't know. Let me know.
Oh well,
Um,
I'm sure he has. I mean, like the one that definitely sticks out for me is his performance in Hot Fuzz because like he's very creepy in that. You know,
I
he's there
haven't.
like saying lines like, "If we bashed your head open, all kinds of secrets would come tumbling out." And he says it in such a weird kind of way. It's like, yeah, he's amazing. You should watch. If you liked him in this, you'd love him in Hot
I've
Fuzz
seen Hot
for
Fuzz a
sure.
long time ago, and I really liked it. I want to revisit it because I was thinking about doing it for the channel because I remember Hot Fuzz being a good example of setups and payoffs. So I think
Yeah.
from a writing perspective, it'd be an interesting one to cover. But yeah, we shall put that on the list,
It's
perhaps.
a ton of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of the like when I was a teenager, I was like obsessed with it. I had it on DVD and I watched it like every week.
Oh, class. You're well
It was
familiar
great.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another interesting character in this movie is the big scary looking dude called Lothar. What did you make of this
Yeah.
chap?
Yeah, like what the hell? Like what the fuck's going on with his face?
He's someone referred to him as Frankenstein in the movie.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm sure he probably gets that everywhere he goes because the prosthetics are like so three-dimensional. Um,
He's a
Now I
big
think it was the Dick Tracy film that came out around about this time, and a bunch of the characters had exaggerated proportions on their faces like that.
yes, Dick
So
Tracy is what I was thinking. Yeah,
yeah, with Madonna, wasn't Madonna in that one?
yeah, yeah.
And that
I
was
think
around about
so.
this kind of era.
I think
Um,
so. Yeah.
and yeah, like loads of them had faces like that, but he's the only guy in this film who has a face like that, so he sticks out like a bit of a sore thumb.
Yeah, because I
I
remember
thought
I
anyway.
saw this when I was quite young at first, and I was like, "What the fuck is this guy?"
I was like, what's going on with his fucking face?
He's got this big rubber face. He's got a big nose and lips, and yeah, he's a big scary looking dude who has a habit of folding people in half, which I thought was
Mm.
quite horrifying when I first saw it. The idea of someone just folding you in half.
I know, yeah, but look, they had to sell him as the big, creepy, strong, muscle fucking lunk that he is
Yeah, there's a
somehow. So
picture
yeah,
of him here on screen. People will see it when this comes out. But it's Sinclair he's working for, right? And he's looking for information for the rocket.
yeah. But even at that, Sinclair is looking for the rocket because he's being hassled by the mafia, isn't he?
No, he hired them to look for the rocket.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting that mixed up. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
sorry. So they're working for him.
yeah. And there's a
All right.
conflict between them. There's this like they have a bit of like a dick measuring contest, that kind of thing, where it's like,
They do. They kind
yeah,
of have a bit of a, they're kind of bitchy with each other. Him and
yeah,
the mob boss. You know.
yeah. Um,
There's a great line he says, "Who are they going to believe? Some mob boss or the number one actor in Hollywood?" And I was
yeah,
like, "Oh, damn, that's good.
yeah, yeah.
Good
Because
point."
it does come up later with someone. I think it's Cliff who says that. Oh, Sinclair's a Nazi. And, like, no one believes him. Like, what are you talking about? um.
Yeah,
So yeah, Lothar is a neat addition to the movie. You know, this is essentially a comic book movie, and he suits it well.
yeah. I believe they had to change the character of Jenny though because in the comic her name is Betty, and she's her job in the comic. I think she's like a Playboy model or something. It's some real rude job like that. I think she's like a stripper or something, and they had to change it for this.
Right.
Um, so they made her an actress in this one, which makes sense because given it like it's a Disney film and they
Yeah.
couldn't have that in it, you
Yeah. It
know.
all ties in well.
Mm.
Um, there's this really funny bit where Lothar goes to their house looking for the rocket because he got information off someone, and your man hides the rocket under a lampshade. I thought that was so funny. I'm like, he'll never
Yeah.
know if I hide it here. And there's even a bit where I think it's Cliff looks at it very obviously. um, and yeah, Lothar puts his head up through the roof. He has Cliff and he just lifts him straight up and bashes his head into the roof. And then there's a shootout. Yeah, I just thought that was funny, hiding it under the lampshade.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very simple, but like, a big fucking tough lad like that, you can see how he might walk past it a few
Yeah, yeah,
times and
yeah.
not notice it. Yeah.
Um, so the finale to this movie is quite mad because we have mobsters, we have Nazis, we have federal agents, we have a big blimp.
And
It's a
and the Rocketeer.
and the Rocketeer,
Yeah.
yeah.
Loads
It's
of stuff going on in this finale. It's great.
I
I thought it
love
was
the
excellent.
finale to this. I think it's just great.
Mm.
You got all this stuff going on, and then you have the Rocketeers battle with Lothar on top of the blimp, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's nothing like a good blimp explosion, you know? I think Beat has, like, you know, Batman the Animated Series had loads of random blimps in episodes, and occasionally one would blow up, and you'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah.
yeah, I
No.
think we covered one in the Scarecrow episode that we covered. That was that
That's
resolution
right.
was on a
That's right.
blimp.
This is our second blimp story.
Do you know what? I'm gonna need a playlist for videos with blimps in it, just for blimp enthusiasts.
Yeah, we'll try and find all the films and TV shows that have blimp explosions, and then we'll cover them.
Yeah, we'll just have a playlist of blimp explosions.
Yeah.
Um,
What would you give this blimp explosion out of 10?
I would give it, I say 8 Hollywood Nazis out of 10.
You know what was a cool detail with this blimp explosion, right? You know, in the background, right? In the 40s, Hollywood was called Hollywood Land.
Mm,
And I had to look this up because in the film it says Hollywood Land on the hill, and I was like, "What the fuck does that mean? What does it mean Hollywood Land?" But sure enough, back like in the 40s, it was called Hollywood Land.
yeah, I didn't know that.
And then when the
Yeah,
blimp, like, I think the blimp crashes and lands on the land, on the word land, and so it just says Hollywood, and I'm like, "That's so cool. That's a fun piece of
yeah.
historic fiction. Now it's a load of fun, yeah."
It was also a fitting ending to the baddie. So, uh, Cliff, Jenny, and Sinclair are on this blimp, and the blimp is on
Mm.
fire and it's about to go down. Sinclair got his hands on the rocket and he's about to take off, and Cliff is like, Sinclair, you could, help us put out the flames, help us out. And he's like, nah, fuck you. But what Sinclair doesn't know is that Cliff had just loosened the piece of chewing gum that was used to patch the hole.
Yeah.
So that results in Sinclair flying off, and the thing is leaking, and it ends up blowing up. And Sinclair crash lands down on the Hollywood sign, or the Hollywood land sign, I should say. And
Mm.
I was like, what a fitting ending to our villain who was pretending to be an actor. Well, not pretending, he was an actor, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and did you notice he landed on the word land?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. There you
So
go.
the chewing gum came full circle and ended up saving the day. Um, and
Yeah, it was a piece of chewing gum all along, you know?
Chekhov's gum.
Yeah, Chekhov's gum. I love that. That's epic.
um, so yeah, Cliff proves that he's the real hero. Sinclair is just a phony, and himself and Jenny resolve all their issues. She appreciates Cliff and how much he cares for her, and it's all wrapped up. It's all romantic, and yeah, at the very end as well, Jenny managed to get she got blueprints for the rocket. She gives them to Peavy so that he
Mm.
can potentially start working on a new one.
Yeah, I think that they were trying to sequel tease a little bit there, but
Yeah, yeah,
there was no need. I think the story wrapped up perfectly in one film. I think we
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah. It's
all we
it's
needed.
it's all kind of wrapped up nicely, and it's not one that really needs a sequel. I mean, again, I haven't read the comics. I don't know what the comics do because I believe there are some that follow on from this. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Maybe he
Mm.
comes up with a new rocket and Cliff continues on as the Rocketeer or something like that. If anyone knows, let us know in the comments. So
I'm
yeah,
sure
I
there's been
mean,
adventures since, but as far as I'm aware, this one was just based off a graphic novel. So maybe back then there was just the one story.
yeah,
Like who knows? I don't know. I don't know, man.
yeah,
Subsequent stories. So they could revamp this now.
yeah,
Although I don't know if it'd have the same charm, really, to be honest, because there's so much practical effects and stuff in this one. It's so charming to look at. I think if they revamped it, it would kind of MCUify it a little bit and give
yeah,
us loads of CGI and shit, and
yeah, and like it would have a lot of the modern Marvel tropes,
Mm.
and
Do you think it holds up from when you were a child?
I think so. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching this one again, and even with like more experienced writer's mind, I enjoyed some of the little details in there. Um, I would say it holds up, and
Yeah.
I would recommend it to anyone who enjoys superhero movies.
Well, I'd never seen this one before.
Oh, this was your
You
first
know,
watch, right?
yeah, I'd never seen it before, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. Thought it was a load of fun. Um, federal agents and the mafia and Nazis and Timothy Dalton and the Rocketeer. There's loads of good stuff here. The Blimp, loads of good stuff here. It's loads of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's not like set in the 90s. It's set like just before World War II broke out, and that's a really interesting period because it's like 1938 or something, and
yeah,
you know, yeah, it's fun. It's a load of fun. This one, I have to say.
yeah. Yeah. To sum it up, I think it's a fun, competently made superhero origin story, and I would suggest giving it a go. Jack, do you recommend The Rocketeer?
Yep, I do recommend the Rocketeer. It feels more like an Indiana Jones film than it would like a Batman film. You know,
Yes, agreed. Yeah,
um,
yeah,
yeah, it's very adventure like. It's not so much save the city and it's your destiny and all this kind of stuff. It's load. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
It's just a fun film. I just had a ton of fun watching it. That's the only.
yeah. I found it
That's what I
refreshing
can sum
going
it up.
back to watch it after watching a lot of new superhero movies. I tried because I was really behind on a lot of the modern superhero movies, so I was kind of binge watching a few, and they're very very disappointing to say the least. Particularly one that we're covering soon, a certain
Yeah.
Madam and her
Oh man.
webs.
Oh, come here. Give the listeners a little teaser. Come on. I know you're dying to.
So myself and Jack, sometime in the near future, are going to cover a movie called Madam Web, and I have
Yes.
yeah, I have started watching it. We won't spoil anything here, but let's just say I think it will be an interesting review. Um, it's it's a fascinating film for
I
many
think
reasons.
this is like, yeah,
Do
we're looking at at least 2 hours.
I think this is going to be another Flash situation. So the Flash is our longest review because there was just so many flaws to talk about in that movie that it took us 2 hours and 13 minutes. This might end up being the same. I mean, I guess that kind of gives it all away.
Possibly.
All right, listen, I'll just say that I do not believe that this movie was written by humans. This feels like it feels like some weird AI generated movie, but we'll dig into the details. But I think it's going to be a load of fun. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, if you want to join the Patreon, there'll be a link in the description if you want to get early access and exclusive content. Coming out soon, I will have my writing lessons from Superman videos. Excited to get them out. And yeah, there'll be all kinds of Patreon exclusive coming down the line. So go check that out. And Jack, where could people find you? So as I said at the start, there'll be a link to Jack's website in the description and a link to that interview we did. And it was very, very good.
Yeah.
So go check that out.
Yes, and before I give the socials out, I believe you said we could do the Phantom at some point.
Yes, I'm
And
really excited to do the Phantom. Billy Zane.
yeah, I bought it in CEX about 2 weeks ago for like £2 or something, and it's been sitting there looking at me all week. So I'm dying to actually get around to watching it and covering that one as well.
I've been looking everywhere
Um,
for it. It's on nothing. I can't find it on anything. So
Jesus, right.
yeah,
Um,
but
I might have to send you my DVD in the post then.
yeah, or
But
I'm sure
yeah,
I'll
no, you
find
can,
some way of watching it.
yeah, sure, you can find my progress on my graphic novel comic book universe at on Instagram at Tales of Centiverse, or if you want to pick up my graphic novel Pirate Hunter, it's the first in a trilogy, and it's the first in that timeline in the world that I'm building, and it's driving me insane. You can find it at www.talesofcentiverse.com. Literally, it's like the website's just gone international as well. So if you live in the US or Canada or the UK or certain European countries, you'd be able to order from it. So
Nice.
that's me, I think.
There you
Um,
go. Jack puts a lot of hard work in, so please go check out his website and support him. Right, I think that's us for today. Yeah, really looking forward to that Madam Web, Jack. I'm dying to hear your thoughts on it. But
I haven't even
maybe,
seen the fucking thing yet, so it's like this is it's going to be another raw reaction.
yeah, yeah,
I don't.
maybe we'll do that next, and then maybe the Phantom after that, while I just sort out finding somewhere to watch it.
Okay, okay, cool. So Madam Web is next, folks.
Oh,
Oh
it's
god,
coming up. Oh my
oh
god,
god.
there's this really. I'll touch on it here. I'll reiterate it on the review, but there is a line in the trailer for Madam Web that got so much ridicule that they took it out
Hmm.
for the actual movie, so it's not in the actual movie, and that is hilarious. I'll say
Is
what
this
the
going to be a
line is.
situation where? Is this going to be a situation where we're going to regret watching it?
Do you know what? It could be, but I think for the laugh we're gonna get out of it, it'll be well worth it.
I think so. Yeah, we'll get a good laugh out of it for sure. Yeah.
It's like everything you can do wrong, writing wise, they do. Like literally every mistake you can make as a writer, they do. I'm looking forward to covering it. All right, everyone, thank you so much for listening. Check out those links in the description, and we'll be back. Myself and Jack will be back next time with Madam Web. Next time with Owen Quinn, we're going to cover Clown in a Cornfield. I'm really looking forward to talking about that. So subscribe, like, comment, all of that bullshit, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.
Try for now.